Peace, this is Tareck Adeeb, and it's a time for a short synopsis of the astrology ahead, and I can't believe it, I've turned up on time, which is a miracle. When I think about when I started doing these Instagram posts, the reason for it was to urgency, really. The start of this year, having been through what we've been through since 2020, you can go further back, and there's been so many moments of evolution which we're in right now. Obviously this is to do with prophecy, and all of this is playing out, and we're in a very crucial time now. So there's so much I could talk about. I do want to kind of apologise a little bit for the fact that, you know, my infrastructure, the things that I was trying to achieve this year hasn't happened. Yeah, it has. There's been so much going on, and I want to say a big shout out to all the people that I've been working with, you know, who've really helped this happen. And, you know, it's a real blessing and honour to be with beautiful people when we're on this journey together. And yeah, you know, we come to the end of the year, we reflect. That's what this retrograde, which I'll talk about, is all about. You know, when we're in a situation where we have to review, you know, we have to analyse and be real. You know, there's a lot of aspect of delusion kicking around at the moment because of Neptune in Pisces, which is, you know, 24 degrees right now. And Saturn now is direct in Pisces. So Saturn is a big theme, Pisces is a big theme. And when we're in this Sagittarius energy, which we're in right now, there's a lot of mutable energy. So it's hard, it's difficult still. It's what's easy for the left brain or the Western mind is consistency. You know, he's been able to say, this is going to happen on this time, and that's how it's going to be. The Eastern or the right brain, there's no concept of time. You know, it is the metrics, the calendars, the cycles are measured differently. So when we have this East-West thing going on, we have to surrender, really, is the best advice I could give you right now, you know, to deal with it. Because if things aren't happening on time and it's still mutable, i.e. it's not easy, that's what the test has been so much of the last couple of years. Mainly to do with the Saturn-Uranus square, but that's to do with instability, you see. And Uranus in Taurus is the big deal, really, as we're moving from May 2018 into 2026. The acceleration of things, the air element, will become so much more pronounced and important. And again, the space in between, the infinite potential of the unseen, you know, all the stuff that's going on, the imaginal, suddenly becomes more important. So therefore, dreaming, you know, for example, when we get towards the end of the decade, will be prolific. You know, those that can dream and understand and do all of that, you know, that different metaverse, different meta thinking, you know, in parts of the brain. And obviously with the technology, you know, AI and all sorts of stuff, sensors on the head and blah, 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 and CRISPR technology, it will be absolutely remarkable to think what can be created. And this is the Pluto and Aquarius generation that's coming through. So I just want to apologise because obviously I haven't been able to give you all the lectures and the community and all these things that would have happened, what we hope for. Obviously Eugenia too, you know, what she's trying to create. We're Gen Xers, you know, I am, you know, we're part of that, you know, the world of people who saw the internet before. Sorry, there was no internet. So we've seen the bridge. We're the bridge generation. That's what the Gen Xers are. Now, just to say this again, this would have come in all my talks, but it's okay, I'll just quickly say it now. Like, so for example, the Pluto and Libra generation, so we're looking at people who are going through their Uranus opposition, midlife crisis. People who are 40 plus, I haven't quite done the maths yet, but there are a generation of people who are middle life, you know, people facing their Chiron return, for example. And Libra, so to quickly say this, Pluto and Libra, it's a generational theme. This group of people, this age group, you know, could easily be caught in, let's say, meekness, like the meek will inherit the earth, or passive. Libra can be very passive. So, oh, I'm too old for this, you know, like, you know, the digital natives, the millennials, the next generation, the Pluto and Sagittarius, you know, these people who are about to inherit AI or adopt AI, you know, the people who are looking at the old world, and this is Pluto and Capricorn, you know, this is what is ending. And why it's quite heavy right now, even though there's a beautiful aspect of Pisces and Sagittarius, which is mutable, i.e. magical. That's what the end of the year is like in the Northern Hemisphere. If you're using fire, which is very important, have a fire, you know. And use these elements of what happens, let's say the darkest night, let's say in the Northern Hemisphere, right? Charity, do something neighbourly, these sorts of beautiful, Dickensian, it comes from England, the stories again, and the idea of the good things in life, that's what can happen at the end of the year too, before the winter solstice. So, wine or be merry or be celebrative, have this aspect of joy, and that's a religious thing again, and we can combine these beautiful merriments, merriment, whatever it is at the end of the year. Again, this is Western, this is Northern Hemisphere stuff. There's a whole another world, if you go to Australia or if you're hanging out with indigenous people in Fiji, let's say. So, we've got all these different things going on in the world, this global world that we're living in right now. And just to sum all of this up, it's just very important to be in the heart. I keep saying this and I'll keep saying it, and all of this work is about that. If you're in the heart, if you're present, if you are letting go, surrendering right now, being in the gratitude mode of thinking, even if things haven't gone as what you thought they would, even if things are redirecting, this retrograde, this is the main astrology of the week, the Mercury retrograde that we're in the shadow period of, but that's why it's hard to move forward. And with Mercury in Sagittarius, it's not great anyway, because there is no structure. It is imaginal. It's not a bad time to be celebratory, right now. It's wise to kind of look back on the year and go, shit, that didn't quite work out. Or go, you know what, it wasn't so bad. I did this, I did this, I did this. And there's all these various things that we can do as a reflection of the year. And it's a good time to be doing it. Not putting the foot to the pedal and going, it's going to be like this, It's not necessarily the wise place to be when there is so much about to change next year. With Pluto going into Aquarius, at the end of January, like February is going to be a wild month when I'm looking at it astrologically, where we are right now. And this, again, is to do with the bifurcation. Not everybody will be understanding or feeling or being on this trajectory that's about to happen. And that's okay. No one has to be on the spaceship. Not everyone does. But at the same time, if you're on the mundane or if you're going on this sort of path, then redirecting, taking a punt, maybe surrendering into one's, again, remembrance of why they're here. And again, anyone who's been participating with this has an opportunity, to thrive. Everybody who is, and I'm very grateful, by the way, for everyone who's taken the time to listen to this. Obviously, the key aspect of the next 2 years is that obviously I want to see you. I don't want to be on this square screen for much longer. It's going to be much more beneficial, I believe, as we're moving into this new earth, this new age, this golden age, for us to see eye to eye, to actually be, really connected on that level. Because this is wonderful. I think this technology is wonderful, and I'm very excited about what's coming with AI and stuff. Because then this Tareck Adeeb could just be an avatar. It doesn't have to be my face right now. It doesn't have to be, me giving myself away to, let's say, this world, this corporate world. I'm grateful for it. But having said that, it'd be great if this was an avatar. You don't need to know what I look like and who I am. You can still feel what I am through what I say and what I do. But seeing each other face to face, I believe, is going to have a lot more value as we move forward into this next, well, certainly to May 2026. So whatever it takes, there's got to be, for me, from my side anyway, there's got to be some way of creating connection, whether it's community places or, like, for example, Costa Rica is somewhere I'm really interested in visiting. I will be going to the coasts of, of America. And, I'd love to go, well, I'm hopefully going back to England next year to my home and to see friends anyway. So we're going to see how it goes, because like I say, this year did not play out how I thought it was going to play out. And that's okay, because I'm showing up here right now. This is what I committed to trying to turn up and do this every week. And I'm just really praying that everybody feels better, feels more ready, to go for it. Because this Gen X, this kind of Pluto and Libra, or the fourth turning, everything that I'm trying to create with integrative healing arts. And by the way, thanks to everyone who bought a reading recently with me. And it's really important at the moment, for us all to connect and to get into our authenticity and to be aware of what's coming, the opportunities are ahead, because there are huge gains and opportunities coming now for, again, sovereign people, people who have done the work, people who've suffered, shown integrity, people who have genuinely trusted the timing of things, humility, not about greed, not about, just trusting the evolution of all of this, allowing, relaxing. And now is the time, I really believe it. I think now is a sacred time and a necessary time. And there's no excuses when we've missed the boat. It's like you were responsible for that. You chose, not to be sovereign, or you chose not to surrender to the unknown. You chose not to be authentic, and that's it. Everyone has a choice, and it doesn't necessarily mean it's right or wrong. But that's the bifurcation. That's when people trust that we're moving into the golden age, and we're really moving into the new earth, and we are contributing again, participating with the outcome. And that is so important right now. And I really pray that everybody on this call sort of listens to this at this moment and says, right, you know what? Everything that I do to help the outcome, and it absolutely starts with where you are right now. So again, yourself is the first thing. Healing thyself, spending time to do what it takes to feel at peace, to be relaxed. If that means going to sleep, whatever is required. And then obviously it extends to your other. So speaking to your partner, communicating, saying, I need space right now. If that's what you need for peace, to be able to sleep. Because again, sleep, rest, dreaming is essential, for us all during this very hectic, again, cyber, electromagnetic time. And then, yes, it extends to the greater community, family, friends, but again, neighbour, people that you don't know, people here in your community, old people home. I'm going to start volunteering. That's the plan now. I'm going to start going in there and do some Reiki, for example, on them, or whatever it takes. If you're a musician, you can go there, play some guitar. You can even ask to help out. Are you short-staffed? These beautiful community things is what creates a lot of love, a lot of feeling of wonder, joy and community, and that security is essential as we're moving into more accelerated times. Absolute crisis, I'm sorry to say, is coming, and that's just that's the world we're living in. It could be as sensational as alien shit, or it could be as dark as World War shit, or it could be like breakthrough as in like, it was all about to go absolutely hideous and terrifying, and there was a breakthrough, So again, what we're contributing right now to the inevitable, to the evolution of what is coming, this is, you could say the Aquarius age, even though not everybody likes that because it is so borrowed, stolen and misinterpreted. But this air element is the key, moving into the space in between, using the imaginal, trusting the infinite potential is what, let's say, someone like Deepak Chopra would talk about. And then, at the same time, when we're moving into technology, which is a part of the evolution. So again, are we in fear or are we in love? Are we in war or are we in peace? How is this technology relevant to us? How are we using it? How are we benefiting from it? How are we serving? And that is the beauty. That is Aquarius in a way. So there is so much potential in this next 2.5 years. I mentioned, May 2026 now. And like I said, I will be getting more available, hopefully soon, community. I urge you to join my community, when the website comes out. And there will be specialisms. I want certain people, to be working with on a specialist nature, in the sense that we are really working out the cycles. That's where the astrology comes in. We're applying what we would learn holistically to ourselves and then seeing the difference in how it affects the world. And then we're tapping into higher consciousness or ancient knowledge to really, really tap into the space in between, and then recognizing the difference of what we do and seeing the outcome. And that's when we become the magicians or, the way showers, the change that the world wants to see. That's when we're tapping into the fourth dimension or fifth dimension of our consciousness that can change the outcome. It is remarkable, like what's coming, and that's where the technology fits in as well. There's a tool for that evolution. So, my course that'll be coming out, and the mentorship if it happens, or these things that are happening. Big shout out to Inner Circle. I'll be reaching out to all of you, and we'll be communicating very soon. In fact, big shout to everyone out there who knew me, and especially in England and stuff. I'll be reaching out to you, you know, we'll be using the social media and connecting, and I'll be talking to you again, and we'll be talking where we've been, because I know I've been away for a while. And obviously a whole community in Egypt, you know, we're looking forward to reconnecting with everyone there. Love to get to South America. Loads of brethren on the university, you know, where I'm at Wales, and also all the people connected there, you know, the very intelligent people there. So, you know, I don't want to say anything because we're in this retrograde phase. Everything still is a little bit unusual right now. You know, the sun's squaring Neptune, for example, and that happens on the 16th. But really, you know, the best thing I can say to you right now is chill out, relax, lick your wounds if you need to. I'll be grateful, obviously. But we can reorientate. We still have time to absolutely, you know, do better next year and recognise the difference of what is positive and negative. It's so important. It just is crucial right now. It's not a joke anymore. It's not like just alternative thinking even. It's real. It's like being connected to nature, you know, being in harmony with the evolution of what is coming, you know, whether that's, again, extraterrestrial coming down or, you know, whatever it may be, whatever weirdness is unfolding, you know, what discoveries are coming, you know, advances in, obviously, technology. Automation will be a feature of our reality, you know, in certain places, absolutely. I mean, it already is. I mean, there's a robot police officer, you know, I think in New York now. So whether that is implemented regularly, it's more of a feature of what is coming, you know, in our reality, what we see, you know, what we perceive, you know, what is normal. So we've got to ideally be, and again, I'm sorry that I haven't had a community out here to share this information and to be present with. I'm gutted about it. At the same time, I'm grateful that I'm getting engagement. I mean, big shout, Amy, you've been great at creating this consistency for us, and at the same time allowing now the situation for people to sort of see me on a regular basis. So, you know, we've worked hard to get there, and there could be a lot more. Obviously, you know, things don't happen on time. We can't give up. We've got to just remember that we're here to serve. And yes, we're at this celebratory sort of moment, and we've got to just, you know, chill. And yes, my gosh, you know, things are going to really increase and accelerate massively, you know, especially when we get to February. Very interesting that Zelensky was in the news just the other day about peace, you know, because obviously there's nowhere really for that to continue. So God willing, you know, that ends. And obviously now we're in the Middle East stuff, which we know is going to play out until April. So the key is if we're going to be participants and we're going to trust the path to peace, we're going to know that whatever we do, we're doing the best that we can. So we take away the pressure. And if we're just lighting a candle every day saying, I'm sending this out a path to peace, or I'm sending a prayer, you know, for the area, and I might not understand it, but I'm doing the best that I can. And again, it starts with your neighbours, you know, it starts with your community. You know, there's so much you can contribute, you know, you can give those clothes away to the charity, you know, and it's doing that, you know, that good-natured stuff, which, you know, we can get caught in the screens and it's all fear, and it's like, you know, we're completely consumed by the matrix in that sense of, you know, it's the end of the world, and, you know, and it is a time of revelation. It is a time of prophecy. You know, that is true. You know, we are moving into new times. You know, it's very true. And whatever fallout occurs over the next 3 to 4 years will depend on our consciousness. You know, it will depend on us having done it, you know, the path to peace, our self-peace, having taken the necessary initiative, whatever it may be. You know, if it means going to a new place once a week, you know, thinking, I can't afford to do that, I don't have the time. Make the time, you know, do something new, you know, that helps just feel like you're living, you know. Likewise, obviously therapy is essential, you know, for anyone who is suffering right now. You know, it could be anything, you know, it doesn't have to be expensive. You know, you can go down to the river and put your feet in the water and just say, I'm letting go of this, you know, of this pain right now, or whatever it may be. But obviously therapists are there. That's why there's so many of us. And, you know, I'll be teaching, God willing, you know, in the next couple of years. You know, I'll be teaching more Reiki and things like that, because it is prolific, you know, when you use this stuff and you've got the gift, and you allow healing to manifest and be. It's like, it's not complicated. It's actually, again, the beauty of simplicity, the beauty of the obvious. Everything is perfect exactly as it is meant to be. Everything is here to serve us for the greater good, for everything that is beautiful in the world. Yes, we are moving from an old world to a new world. That's an adjustment, whatever it may be. 3D, 4D, letting go of the shadow, limiting beliefs to go into the new world, lightening up the bifurcation. And obviously there's people here for a reason. The people who have let go of their shadow or gone through the mill are coming through now with gifts. So collaboration's key. That's why I'll be in touch with a lot of people, the next year. I hope so. And hopefully we'll see each other face to face as well. And, join the community when it's there. Okay, so that's all I want to say, because this week really it's about the new moon in Sag and the Mercury retrograde, the Sun square Neptune. That's it. That's what it's all about. It's Mercury retrograde. So again, just chill out, reflect, review. And this new moon in Sag, yes, it's volatility is in the air. We don't know what's going to happen. We are in this mutable energy. So be prepared for that. Whether it's in the markets, it could be a great buying opportunity, for example, if you study that. Likewise, if things turn on a dime, then relax, just go with it. February is going to be a really, really interesting month. Pluto goes into Aquarius on the 22nd of Jan, but February, my gosh, like this new world, this new emergence is going to be very palpable. Ideally, you're on that spaceship, or you're certainly building towards it. Even if you're not, you might get a lot of excitement, new ideas, revelation, that sparks you into thinking, this is my authenticity now. So there's always opportunity. The worst case scenario, people are getting more caught, let's say, if you want to call it the matrix or the fear paradigm. And again, that's when people like us, the people who are doing the work, are here to heal and serve, to help, Some people are going further into a different direction from you. That's what discernment is. We have to allow the other, whoever it may be, this is what this last 3 years has been about, to go where they need to go, and there's no right or wrong, that's judgment. It's just simply to do with vibration and frequency, and this is this bifurcation. So if you're relaxing and surrendering and being in the heart, it will guide you. You don't need the mind chatter. You don't need the overwhelm of emotion. You could just simply be and trust, and then everything will reveal itself. That's why there is an aspect to this meek will inherit the earth, but I don't believe a lot of my generation are aware of this feeling, state, that the opportunity in the different realms, whether it's, I don't say psychic, but I'd say feeling state, excitement, the feeling of, wow, it's unfolding, I am exactly where I need to be, exactly at this time for a reason. And I'm here to serve, and I'm excited because it's going to be a lot of fun, and that's obviously a Sagittarius slant on it all, but people who want to be part of my group, who want to do a lot of good work. Like, for example, Gary V, respect to Gary V, I love that guy. VCon, I'll be there in LA, if anyone wants to meet me there, I'll be there. And what he's doing right now, exactly what I would love to do, what I heard anyway on one of his podcasts, he's helping a certain charity in Africa, or setting up some sort of water thing there, whatever it may be, because some kids have gone, like, on the internet probably gone, listen, like, I've got a great idea, we could do this in this area. And that's what it's all about, for the humanitarian group of us, the philanthropic group of us. Couldn't think of anything better, It's like, we've got to get our brand, or whatever it may be. We've got to survive this next couple of years. We've got to invest wisely. It has to happen. Otherwise, we're going to get caught in the third dimension. Pensions are gone, These sorts of things that can easily happen. So how are we going to move forward, i.e. to serve, to help? Well, we're going to be advocates. We're going to do what we say. It has to happen. And then at the same time, we're going to give it a punt, at least try it, trust ourselves. Trust our intuition, trust everything we've learned, our integrity. And then you've got to take a chance, you've got to do yang, action, fire, Aries. These are the things that one has to do. And it's okay to fail. This is all this, again, getting rid of all the shame and guilt stuff. And then just trusting what's coming, and being around like-minded people, like I say, that's so important. The collaboration aspect of this is key. So I look forward to reaching out to a lot of you and seeing you, and also when you're part of the community, we can communicate more, we could really thrive, and that's what it's all about. That's why I'm doing this. So I want to say a huge shout out to everyone who's been participating, helping, and being a part of this ride. It's been a weird ride, 2023, my gosh. But we're definitely moving into new times now. So get ready. We've got a lot of fun to be had, a lot of work to be had, you know. Obviously the fire side of me is like a lot of axes to be thrown, you know. But that's just, again, it's all about the game. It's all part of the play. And, you know, if we're gonna be excited and have a good time, and also, again, create good art, that's one of the best things one can do. You know, if they're in a place of peace, they're not affected by the hell, because, you know, who knows, and you can actually just create. That is amazing. And again, using the technology, you know, NFTs, things like that could be prolific at this time, you know, to have the Renaissance captured in, you know, I call it like, what did I call it, the Universal Library? Because the internet's a bit like that, you know, it's not a relic on an Italian shore anymore, or, you know, a statue that's been found in the sand, you know, in Egypt, let's say. It's this blockchain, you know, it's part of the new world, you know, the art now, the contribution, you know, when people look back at it 1,000 years later at this time, the contribution, you know, the participation to the outcome, by just doing it without knowing the outcome, you know, without having any attachment to the outcome. That is actually so prolific right now, because who knows what's going to happen? You know, it's trusting the positive. It's really believing that everything's going to work out. Not hopium, not delusion, because again, that exists. It's more like God is good, if you want to go into that religiosity of it, or just knowing that in this moment right now, this is so important with the power of now, the Eckhart Tolle stuff. I feel I am present. You know, I am myself. I'm not lost. You know, I'm not sucked into the matrix. I'm not in past trauma. You know, I'm not any of these things. I'm a being. You know, you could say of light, of someone who is present right now in this moment, and in that awareness of know thyself, of discovery of the being. Then suddenly you can, if you recognise that, it can amazingly, you know, add like this excitement to your body. You can just feel it, because suddenly you're present. You're not, again, lost in the matrix or acting out of default. And that moment of, let's say, revelation, or that moment of excitement, or that eureka moment, as a conscious being, then, as someone who is participating with the world of form, matter, deliberate creation, with all that is, then it gets a whole lot of fun, especially if you're with a lot of other people, because then we start to forge, fathom in the space in between. We start to actually create and be the change that the world wants to see. And my gosh, the light that is created, then it does extend to different dimensions of time and space. You know, it's very exciting, you know, when you start to tap into that. And that's the prophecies, you know, that's the main prophecy, that's what's coming. And you know, the 5% Pluto and Libra, you know, looking out for you guys, you know, and all 5%ers and people who've got skills too, because what we'll do is we'll get together and we'll just create it. You know, we'll create heaven on earth, or a Garden of Eden. If we need to, you know, if the whole world goes to shit, we'll be fine. Or even better, you know, we'll spark a light within all wonderful, beautiful people on the earth, and we'll all get together and have a great time. So let's just keep thinking like that. But anyway, that's my spiel, that's my spat. And again, get ready, you're going to get emails from me soon. People haven't heard from me for years, and it's time to kick some ass. All right, with that being said, be your way to show the way. Peace.